Imagine floating in the void of space, serenely gazing at the stars. Suddenly, bam! A solar flare hits you like a cosmic piñata. Welcome to the wild world of space radiation. You might think asteroids and black holes are the only things astronauts need to worry about. Well, think again. Space radiation is the ultimate party crasher of the universe. But what exactly is space radiation? It's a cocktail of high-energy particles zipping through space at nearly the speed of light. Galactic cosmic rays? Check. Solar particle events? You got it. These tiny troublemakers can be more dangerous than a three-headed space dragon. They slam into your cells like you're in a cosmic game of dodgeball. And who wouldn't want to dodge a higher risk of cancer, right? Research shows that astronauts can be blasted with radiation levels equivalent to thousands of chest X-rays. For some perspective, an astronaut on a mission to Mars could absorb a lifetime's worth of radiation in just one trip. That's like sitting in a dentist's chair for 2 weeks straight. And listen up. The brave men and women aboard the International Space Station aren't escaping the fallout either. NASA says they're getting zapped with doses between 50 and 2,000 millisieverts. Each dose is like 3,000 to 6,000 chest X-rays. And what do you get from all that exposure? Well, aside from an insatiable craving for a lead suit, you might develop some not-so-fun long-term health issues. This includes cancer and heart problems, which are about as enjoyable as a porcupine in a balloon factory. Now let's talk about those sleek, futuristic spacesuits. They're designed to protect against the cold of space, but against radiation, they're about as effective as a paper umbrella in a hurricane. NASA is working diligently to develop better shields, but until then, our brave space explorers are pretty much radiation's favorite party guests. And don't think our moon is a safe haven. With no atmosphere to protect them, astronauts on the lunar surface are bathed in radiation like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Research has even shown that getting too close to cosmic radiation can lead to brain issues. Forget about remembering where you left your keys. You might not even remember your own name. But on the plus side, if you ever want crowds to part, just tell them you can now dodge rays at the speed of light. Now let's get down to how we can combat this cosmic menace. Space agencies are getting innovative with a new tactic, and it promises to be quite effective. Think of it like wrapping your favorite sandwich, but in this case, we're wrapping astronauts in high-tech shielding. It's like giving them a giant cosmic burrito of protection. And who doesn't like a good burrito? However, with every burrito comes the risk of it falling apart. So research is key. We're talking about the kind where scientists study the effects of radiation on rodents before cooking up a meal for our space explorers. For future missions to Mars and beyond, astronauts will need to be snug as a bug in a rug inside a rad-proof hug. Now let's get serious for a moment. Space radiation is more than just a scientific nuisance. It's a potential threat that could affect our long-term aspirations for human space travel to distant planetary bodies. But fear not. Knowing the risks associated with life among the stars is the first step toward solutions. We can design better protective measures and even build habitats on the Moon and Mars with proper shielding. Keep those cosmic rays at bay. So what exactly are the health risks our brave astronauts face? First up, cancer. Those pesky high-energy particles can damage DNA, potentially leading to the big C. It's like playing cellular roulette, but with worse odds. Next on the list, cardiovascular disease. Turns out space radiation doesn't just zap your cells, it also messes with your heart. A study of Apollo astronauts showed they had a 4 to 5 times higher rate of cardiovascular issues compared to their Earth-bound colleagues. Talk about a cosmic heartbreak. But wait, there's more. Space radiation can also affect the central nervous system. We're talking potential memory loss, reduced motor function, and behavioral changes. Imagine forgetting how to operate your spacecraft mid-mission. Houston, we definitely have a problem. And let's not forget about the risk of acute radiation syndrome. This nasty condition can cause nausea, vomiting, and in severe cases, death. It's like the worst hangover you've ever had, times 1,000,000. Now you might be wondering, how much radiation are we talking about here? Well, buckle up, space cadets. Astronauts on the International Space Station are exposed to radiation doses equivalent to 150 to 6,000 chest X-rays. That's enough to make even the most hardcore radiologist wince. But here's the kicker. A mission to Mars would expose astronauts to even more radiation. We're talking potentially career-ending levels of exposure. It's like playing cosmic Russian roulette with your health. So how are we tackling this invisible enemy? First up, shielding. We're not talking about your grandma's tinfoil hat here. We're talking high-tech materials designed to deflect those pesky particles. Think of it as a cosmic umbrella. If umbrellas could stop subatomic bullets. Next, timing. Turns out space radiation isn't constant. It fluctuates with the solar cycle. So, we're getting better at predicting when it's safer to send our astronauts out there. It's like checking the weather forecast, but instead of rain, we're avoiding cosmic ray showers. We're also looking into biological countermeasures. Imagine a pill that could protect you from radiation damage. It's not science fiction, it's cutting-edge research. These potential space supplements could be the multivitamins of the future. Gotta get your daily dose of anti-radiation goodness. But perhaps the most exciting development is in the field of artificial intelligence. We're developing AI systems that can predict and monitor radiation levels in real time. It's like having a super smart cosmic weather forecaster on board. And let's not forget about the advances in medical technology. We're getting better at detecting and treating radiation-induced health issues. It's like giving our astronauts a cosmic health insurance policy. Now you might be thinking, why bother with all this? Why not just stay on Earth where it's safe? Well, my fellow Earthlings, the answer is simple. Exploration. Humanity has always pushed the boundaries of what's possible. From crossing oceans to climbing mountains, we've never shied away from a challenge. Space is the final frontier, and we're not about to let a little radiation stop us. Plus, the research we're doing to protect astronauts has real-world applications right here on Earth. From improving cancer treatments to developing better radiation protection for nuclear workers, this research benefits us all. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember the brave men and women who are willing to face the invisible threat of space radiation. They're not just explorers, they're pioneers paving the way for humanity's future among the stars. And who knows, maybe one day, thanks to their sacrifices and our scientific advancements, we'll all be zipping around the galaxy without a care in the world, or universe. Until then, let's raise a toast to our cosmic heroes and the scientists working tirelessly to keep them safe. Here's to conquering the final frontier, one radioactive particle at a time. And remember, in space, no one can hear you get zapped. But we're doing our best to make sure it doesn't happen. Stay rad, Space Cadets!